Most gardeners waste money fixing problems in spring that could have been prevented in fall. I'm about to show you 4 simple steps that protect your garden through winter and set you up for explosive growth next season. Skip step 3, and you'll be dealing with diseased plants and compacted soil come March. Do all 4, and your neighbors will wonder why your garden bounces back faster than theirs. Welcome to Earthly Gardening, where we help you grow more while spending less. If you're new here, you've found your resource for practical gardening that actually saves you money. For everyone who's been growing with us, thanks for making this community what it is. Today's prep work is the difference between struggling through spring or sailing through it. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our money-saving tips. These 4 steps take 1 weekend to complete but protect months of investment in your garden. Grab something to take notes with, because proper winter prep is the secret weapon most successful gardeners use. Let's get into what actually protects your garden through the cold months ahead. Here's what happens when you skip winter prep. Soil compacts from freeze-thaw cycles, making spring planting brutal. Diseased plant material overwinters and infects next year's crops. Perennials die from exposure that simple mulching would have prevented. Pests find cozy homes in your garden debris and emerge hungry in spring. Every single one of these problems costs you time and money to fix. Winter prep isn't about doing a bunch of complicated tasks. It's about 4 strategic actions that protect your investment and set up success. Think of it like insurance for your garden. You spend a little time now to avoid expensive problems later. The work is straightforward, nothing complicated or requiring special skills. Just logical steps done in the right order at the right time. Let's break down exactly what needs to happen before winter settles in. Step 1, strategic cleanup and disease prevention. First step is cleanup, but not the way most people do it. You're not trying to make your garden look pristine. You're removing specific materials that harbor disease and pests while leaving beneficial debris that protects soil and wildlife. This distinction matters because indiscriminate cleanup can actually harm your garden ecosystem. Start by removing any diseased plant material completely. Tomato plants with blight, squash with powdery mildew, anything showing spots, rot, or fungal growth needs to go. Don't compost this stuff unless your pile reaches 140 degrees consistently. Most home compost doesn't get hot enough to kill pathogens. Bag it and trash it or burn it if local regulations allow. This one action prevents disease cycles from continuing into next season. Annual vegetables that finished production can come out entirely. Pull roots and all. Check them for signs of disease as you go. Healthy material goes in your compost. Anything questionable gets trashed. This seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many gardeners leave dead tomato plants standing all winter, creating perfect disease reservoirs. Here's where it gets interesting. Leave the healthy stems of perennials and beneficial annuals standing through winter. Plants like coneflowers, black-eyed Susans, and ornamental grasses provide seed for birds and shelter for beneficial insects. The hollow stems become hibernation sites for native bees and other pollinators. You're supporting the good guys while eliminating the bad. For vegetable beds, remove all remaining produce including anything that fell and rotted. Rotting vegetables attract pests and can harbor disease. Do a thorough harvest of anything edible, then clear the obvious debris. But leave the roots of healthy plants in the ground. Those roots are organic matter that will break down and feed your soil. Pulling them disturbs soil structure unnecessarily. Weeds need to come out before they set seed. This is crucial. One season of letting weeds go to seed creates years of extra work. Pull or cut them before seed heads mature. Get the roots if possible, especially on perennial weeds. This investment of time now saves hours of weeding next season. Clean your tools as you work. Dirty tools spread disease between plants. A simple bucket of diluted bleach solution for dipping your pruners prevents cross-contamination. Wipe tools dry to prevent rust. This habit protects both your tools and your plants. The goal of this cleanup phase is creating a clean slate that doesn't harbor problems while preserving beneficial elements. You're editing your garden, not erasing it. This balanced approach costs nothing but saves money by preventing disease and supporting free pest control from beneficial insects. Step 2, Soil Protection and Improvement. Second step focuses on soil, which is your garden's foundation. Winter weather can damage unprotected soil through compaction, erosion, and nutrient loss. But you can actually improve soil quality over winter with the right approach. This is where smart gardeners get ahead while others lose ground. Never leave soil bare through winter. Exposed soil erodes in rain, compacts under snow, and loses organic matter to wind. The solution is either mulch or cover crops, and ideally both in different areas. Let's talk about each approach and when to use it. For perennial beds and areas you won't plant until late spring, apply 3 to 4 inches of organic mulch. Shredded leaves are perfect and free if you have deciduous trees. Run your mower over fallen leaves to shred them, then rake them onto beds. They protect soil, suppress weeds, and break down into nutrients by spring. You're turning yard waste into garden gold. Wood chips work well for paths and around shrubs. Get them free from tree services who need to dump their loads. A single truckload of chips mulches a huge area. Just avoid using fresh chips directly on vegetable beds since they can temporarily tie up nitrogen as they decompose. Around perennials and on paths, they're perfect. Straw is excellent for vegetable beds if you're not doing cover crops. Apply 4 inches after cleaning up annuals. It protects soil, prevents erosion, and starts breaking down slowly. By spring, you can work partially decomposed straw into the soil as organic matter. A bale costs $5 and covers significant area. Cover crops are the advanced move that serious gardeners use. Plant them 6 to 8 weeks before your first frost date. Winter rye, crimson clover, and hairy vetch are excellent choices. They grow through fall, hold soil in place through winter, and get turned under in spring as green manure. You're adding nitrogen and organic matter while preventing erosion. The seeding rate matters. Too sparse and you don't get full coverage. Too thick and you waste seed. Follow package directions for your specific crop. Broadcast seed over prepared soil and rake lightly to cover. Water if conditions are dry. Within 2 weeks you'll have green coverage protecting your beds. Add compost now if you have it. Spread 1 to 2 inches over beds before mulching. Winter weather will work it into the soil naturally. You're banking nutrients for spring without doing anything beyond spreading. This is passive soil building that happens while you're inside staying warm. Test your soil pH now if you haven't in a few years. Home test kits cost $10 and tell you if you need to adjust pH. Adding lime or sulfur now gives it months to work into the soil before planting season. Spring is too late for pH adjustment to help that season's crops. Fall application means corrected pH by planting time. The investment here is mainly time and materials you can often get free. The return is healthier, more productive soil that makes everything easier next season. You're literally building your garden's foundation while protecting existing quality. Quick pause here. If you're finding this helpful, hit that like button right now. It helps other gardeners discover this information. Drop a comment telling me which step you're tackling first. I read every comment and they help shape future videos. Alright, let's get into the final 2 steps that complete your winter prep. Step 3, Perennial and Woody Plant Protection. Third step addresses perennials, shrubs, and anything staying in the ground through winter. These plants need different care than annuals. Proper protection means they emerge strong in spring rather than damaged or dead. This is where gardeners either save or waste serious money on plant replacement. Timing matters here. Don't rush this step. Wait until plants go dormant after several hard frosts. Protecting too early keeps them actively growing when they should be shutting down. That leaves them vulnerable to actual cold damage. Dormancy is natural, let it happen first. For herbaceous perennials that die back to ground level, cut stems to about 4 inches above soil after they've fully died back. This leaves enough stem to mark the plant's location without leaving excessive material. Exceptions are the hollow-stemmed plants I mentioned earlier that provide wildlife habitat. Leave those standing if they're not diseased. Apply mulch around perennials but not directly against their crowns. A 2 to 3 inch layer of shredded leaves or straw insulates roots without smothering plants. Keep mulch an inch away from stems to prevent rot. This simple protection prevents frost heaving, which pushes plants out of the ground and exposes roots to killing cold. Newly planted perennials and marginally hardy plants need extra protection. Create a loose cage of chicken wire around the plant and fill with shredded leaves. This creates insulation without matting down and smothering growth points. Remove it in spring once frost danger passes. Roses benefit from hilling soil around the base after the ground freezes. This protects the graft union where the desirable rose connects to hardy rootstock. Pile 6 to 8 inches of soil around the base. Mark the location so you remember to remove the hill in spring. This costs nothing but prevents losing expensive rose bushes. Young trees and shrubs with thin bark can sunscald in winter. The south and west sides of trunks heat up on sunny winter days, then freeze rapidly overnight. This splits bark and damages vascular tissue. Wrap trunks with tree wrap or paint them with white latex paint diluted 50/50ths with water. Either method reflects heat and prevents damage. Water everything deeply before the ground freezes. This seems counterintuitive, but plants lose moisture through their stems and evergreen foliage all winter. They can't pull water from frozen soil. Going into winter well hydrated is crucial for survival. Water until soil is saturated to root depth. Evergreens are especially vulnerable to winter desiccation. The foliage loses moisture while roots can't replace it. Anti-desiccant sprays create a protective coating that reduces moisture loss. Apply in late fall according to product directions. One bottle costs $12 and protects multiple plants for the season. Don't fertilize woody plants or perennials now. Growth needs to stop, not continue. Fertilizing pushes tender new growth that will freeze and damage plants. Any feeding should have stopped in late summer. If you forgot, just skip it now. Spring feeding is fine, fall is not. Divide overgrown perennials now if you didn't in spring. Fall division works well for most species. Dig clumps, separate into sections with roots attached, replant divisions immediately. Water well. Mulch after the ground freezes. You're getting free plants while rejuvenating tired specimens. The money saved in this step adds up quickly. A mature perennial costs $15 to $30 to replace. Proper protection costs essentially nothing but your time. Multiply that across your garden and you're protecting hundreds of dollars in plant investment with simple preventative care. Step 4. Infrastructure maintenance and tool care. Fourth step handles the infrastructure and equipment that keeps your garden functioning. This stuff never seems urgent until something breaks at the worst possible time next season. Taking care of it now prevents expensive replacements and springtime frustration. Start with irrigation systems. Drain all hoses, sprinklers, and drip systems completely. Water left inside freezes and cracks fittings and lines. Store hoses coiled in a shed or garage. Blow out drip systems with compressed air. Shut off and drain outdoor faucets following manufacturer instructions for your climate. One burst pipe or ruined drip system costs way more than proper winterization. Clean all tools thoroughly. Scrape off dried soil, wash with soapy water, rinse and dry completely. Rusty tools work poorly and spread disease. After cleaning, wipe metal parts with an oily rag. Any light oil works, even cooking oil. This prevents rust during storage. Sharp tools need sharpening now so they're ready for spring. A file costs $5 and keeps tools working for years. Drain fuel from gas-powered equipment or add fuel stabilizer. Old gas gums up carburetors over winter, leading to expensive repairs or replacement. Run the engine until it dies after adding stabilizer, ensuring treated fuel reaches all parts. Change oil if you didn't recently. Store equipment in a dry location. Proper care means it starts easily next season. Inspect structures like trellises, raised beds, and fencing. Tighten loose screws, replace damaged sections, reinforce weak points. Repairs are easier now than mid-season when structures are in use. A failing trellis in summer means lost plants and produce. Fix it now for $5 in materials instead of dealing with crisis later. Empty and clean containers if you're not using them for winter planting. Scrub with diluted bleach solution to kill disease organisms. Rinse thoroughly and let dry. Stack for storage. Clay pots should go somewhere they won't freeze full of water and crack. Plastic and resin containers can stay outside. This simple cleaning prevents disease from contaminating next season's plantings. Organize your shed or storage area. Straighten shelves, consolidate partial bags of amendments, check for rodent damage to stored seeds. Create a list of supplies needed for spring. Buying amendments in winter often gets you better prices than spring rush periods. Planning now means you're ready to go when planting season arrives. Take inventory of stakes, ties, row covers, and other reusable supplies. Wash fabric row covers and store them clean. Coil tomato cages and stack them out of weather. Organized storage means you find things easily next season instead of buying duplicates of stuff you already own but can't locate. Check stored seeds for viability. Most seeds last several years if stored properly. Toss obviously old or moldy seeds. Make notes of what you need to buy. Ordering seeds in winter gives you the best selection before varieties sell out. You're planning ahead instead of scrambling in spring. This infrastructure step feels less immediately rewarding than working with plants, but it saves more money than any other step. Replacing neglected equipment is expensive. Maintaining it properly extends life by years. An hour spent on tool care now prevents frustration and expense all season long. These 4 steps work together as a complete system. The order matters less than doing all 4 before hard winter sets in. Start with cleanup since it reveals what else needs attention. Move to soil work while weather is still workable. Handle perennial protection after dormancy begins. Finish with infrastructure when you're done in the actual garden. Spread the work over a few weekends if doing everything at once feels overwhelming. Break it into manageable chunks. 1 weekend for cleanup, another for soil work, a third for perennial care, final weekend for infrastructure. Progress is more important than perfection. Don't stress about perfect execution. These steps are forgiving. Doing them reasonably well delivers most of the benefit. The garden doesn't need perfection, it needs basic protection and setup for success. You're aiming for good enough, not magazine cover perfect. The total cost for all 4 steps is minimal. Most materials are free or already owned. Even buying what you need, you're spending maybe $50 to protect hundreds of dollars in plants and equipment. That's intelligent investment, not expense. You're playing the long game instead of constantly reacting to preventable problems. Winter prep separates gardeners who struggle from those who succeed effortlessly. It's not about talent or experience. It's about doing basic protection and setup when it matters. Spring gardening is 80% easier when fall prep was done right. You're not fighting compacted soil, diseased plants, or broken equipment. You're just planting and growing. The budget angle here is powerful. Prevent problems instead of paying to fix them. Protect plants instead of replacing them. Maintain equipment instead of buying new. These principles apply to every aspect of gardening. They're especially crucial in fall when your actions impact the entire next season. Start this weekend if weather permits. Get cleanup done at minimum. That single step prevents the most common and expensive problems. Add the other steps as you're able. Any progress is better than none. Your spring self will thank your fall self for this work. Before you head out to prep your garden, make sure you're subscribed to Earthly Gardening. We share practical advice that saves you money all year long. Hit that notification bell so you catch every video. If this video helps you understand winter prep better, smash that like button and share it with your gardening friends. Comment below with your biggest winter prep challenge. Your questions help me create content that actually serves this community. Thanks for spending this time with me today. Now get out there and protect your garden investment. A little work now prevents a lot of struggle later. I'll see you in the next one. Happy prepping.